First at 4, President Trump's first reaction to a historic vote in the House. He's one step closer to impeachment. We'll tell you what comes next. A piece of Detroit's history comes tumbling down, but it's a sign of progress for the city's auto industry. Paula.
Hey, Karen, I want you to take a look at these beautiful faces. Lots of smiles and some tears. This is bittersweet. We are live at Metro Airport with a reunion with daughters ripped away from their father when their mother was deported. We'll have a live report.
Plus, we're tracking the weekend forecast. Take a look before making plans for your family. It's all next. First at 4.
Live from downtown Detroit, home of WDIV and Click on Detroit, Local 4 News First at 4 starts now.
First at 4, President Trump reacting to today's historic step forward in the impeachment inquiry. This morning, the House Judiciary Committee approved 2 articles of impeachment charging the president with abuse of power and obstruction of Congress. The president is blasting Democrats.
It's something that shouldn't be allowed, and it's a very bad thing for our country. And you're trivializing impeachment. And I tell you what, someday there'll be a Democrat president and there'll be a Republican House, and I suspect they're going to remember it.
The vote was strictly along party lines, with all 23 Democrats voting for it and all 17 Republicans against it. Kimberly Gill in the newsroom with reaction and what's next. Kim.
Hi, Karen. Good afternoon. A lot of people were actually surprised the vote happened this morning. It was delayed last night after a marathon 14 hours of debate yesterday. Today's vote has members of Congress divided on what's ahead.
They had no proof, no evidence, no crime, but they went ahead anyway, and they're tearing the country apart, and they should be ashamed.
There's a pattern that the president has shown us over and over and over again, that he's willing to do anything, cheat, give away America in exchange for winning election.
Well, now all eyes are on the full House, with a pivotal vote expected sometime next week. If a simple majority of the Democrat-controlled House votes to approve either article, President Trump would become the 3rd president ever to be formally impeached. Then in January, the Senate will hold an impeachment trial presided over by the Chief Justice of the Supreme Court. Majority Leader Mitch McConnell says there's no chance President Trump would be convicted in the Senate. And that requires a 2/3 vote, by the way. We're told the White House is still planning its trial strategy, weighing whether to call witnesses. President Trump's personal lawyer, Rudy Giuliani, was spotted at the White House today as the House Judiciary Committee was voting. The White House would not comment on that. Karen, we'll have more coming up on the news at 5. Until then, we'll send it back to you in the studio.
All right, we appreciate it. Thank you, Kim.
Sure.
Make sure to stay right here through 6 and then watch team coverage of this historic moment on NBC Nightly News with Lester Holt at 6:30 this evening. Michigan Governor Gretchen Whitmer in Detroit today and talking about higher education. The governor talked with students and teachers about access to different levels of higher education. She also spoke about the impact of a better educated population could have on the state's future. In March, Whitmer released a higher education plan. Now, that plan has a goal of getting 60% of Michiganders some form of higher education by 2030. Longtime Detroiters are very familiar with the old Connors Creek Power Plant. It's on the city's east side. While it hasn't been in use since 2008, today it was time to say goodbye with a bang. A controlled implosion brought that plant tumbling down. It's been around for more than 100 years. The huge stacks became known as the Seven Sisters. But the plant had to go, so Fiat Chrysler can build a new assembly plant there. New at 5, we're going to take a closer look at the work that still needs to be done, as well as how long that will take. Now let's move to an update on a frustrating situation over on Harson's Island. Right now, only pedestrians are able to get on and off that island. It's been 2 days since that dock collapsed. Crews are working to have it fixed so the ferry can start bringing cars onto the island again. We're hearing those repairs could be done by tomorrow, but that timetable does seem tentative. We're following this one closely for you. Our weather has been up and down all week long. Right now, the weekend doesn't look too bad. Andrew Humphrey in for Ben on our Friday afternoon. So what can we expect?
Well, Karen, good to see you. And hello, everyone. We've got some clouds overhead, but today we're on one of those upsides. We have temperatures way above freezing, 39 to near 40 degrees. It was 43 just last hour. Now we have 43 over at Metro Airport, upper 30s elsewhere, including 39 degrees at City Airport, Pontiac, and also over in Mount Clemens. Same thing for our friends and relatives over in Port Huron and over in Howell. Got some filtered sunshine as we look at downtown Detroit. Sunset less than an hour away, but it's the earliest one of the year. We're looking at 40 degrees currently, a wind chill of 35, not too bad, a wind out of the south at around 7 miles per hour. So it remains dry with that filtered sunshine for the next hour or so, then mostly cloudy skies this evening with temperatures still above freezing in the upper 30s through the dinner hour. Does it remain completely dry over the weekend? We'll talk more about that and your 7-day forecast in moments.
All right, thank you very much, Andrew. President Trump is celebrating one victory today. The United States and China have reached a limited deal to ease the trade war. This agreement is phase 1 of the negotiations. Chinese officials say this part of the deal has 9 chapters. It deals with many issues, including intellectual property rights, technology transfer, and food and agricultural products. And the U.S. will start to phase out additional tariffs on Chinese products. Just moments ago, we witnessed this family reunion at Detroit's Metro Airport. The father and his daughters pulled apart by a deportation battle that took their mom to Europe. Now we are seeing a family reunion. So let's bring in Paula Tutman. She was invited to follow the family on this very special day and joins us live from the airport. Oh, Paula, what a story to share.
Karen, it really is, and I don't think anybody is going to be surprised by the reaction. Think about this. This father has not seen his daughters for more than a year and a half. If you're a parent, I want you to think about this. These children have not seen their father, and all day today he has been on pins and needles waiting for this moment. Mid-morning, and there's a current of excitement at the Sterling Heights house of Pete Gochevic.
I got a picture of him at McDonald's.
Oh, no way. The pictures of his daughters, Megan and Martina, will soon be replaced by the children themselves. He has not seen them since July of 2018, when they left their country to join their mother, Seal, in hers, Albania, after she was deported. What do you miss most?
The hugs and smiles when I walk in the house from work. They'd be like, "Daddy, we missed you."
Son Mikey actually returned last August.
The language didn't interest him. The culture.
For nearly a decade, we have followed the story of Seal Projecti and her fight to turn her illegal entry into the United States into legal permission to stay, and her eventual deportation. Her fight to stay in the country and remain a family with her 3 American-born children and her husband, who himself has unsure status, has now turned into a fight to remain together as a family, regardless of the distance.
The kids, they watched a lot of movies and they see miracles happen for Christmas, but I told them, honey, I think that's just in the movies.
Okay, so I just want you to take another moment to take a look at this reunion. Again, about a year and a half in the making. Of course, the plane was late and it took them a while to get through customs. But then when they saw their father, they just pretty much ran. And then the laughter and the tears just kind of flowed. Again, it is bittersweet. They were crying because they're leaving their mother, but so happy because they're seeing their father.
Because you have half of your family on one side of the world and you half of your family on the other side of the world. And then you wake up every day knowing that you don't have half of your family with you.
It's tough.
Very tough.
Yeah, you know what? I asked the girls what's the first thing they want to do, and they simply said, go home. Tomorrow they look for a Christmas tree. They start decorating. Stay with us. At 6 o'clock, they have tales to tell. Keep in mind, they have lived through that earthquake in Albania. They were part of those aftershocks, but also they talk a little bit more about what it's like to be torn between 2 countries. Still very, very emotional, very, very bittersweet, and I'm so honored that they asked us to be a part of this reunion.
Yeah, that is a very private moment, and it was very wonderful for them to share that with all of us. Is there a what's next in this, Paula, for this family?
You know, I think you could say everything is in flux. So you have to remember, Pete no longer has a country to go to. His country has been disbanded, so he is landlocked. He can never leave the United States and hope to ever re-enter again. They're still trying to get Seal's citizenship or trying to get her to be able to come back to this country legally. And so they're just a family living on two different sides of the globe. And they don't have any hope of being reunited, at least not yet.
You don't wish that on any family. We'll be joining you at 6 to learn more about what they've been going through. We appreciate it. Thank you, Paula. Still ahead first at 4, you are looking at the hottest new character in the galaxy. Now we know when you can get your hands on Baby Yoda merchandise. Also ahead, 4 words I've never said on TV before: bald eagle versus octopus. We've got the story behind this video. Up first, a windshield smashed to bits while a woman was behind the wheel. Why her story could change your morning routine during the winter driving season.